Graced with natural beauty and awe-inspiring vistas, the Italian lakes have been a fashionable travel destination since Roman times. The spectacular landscapes, baroque gardens, and splendid waterside villas continue to draw people to the region. Many are reluctant to leave, but a fortunate few are able to put down roots in the area. One of the more recently established residents here is Moto GP World Champion Jorge Lorenzo. The Spanish rider lives in Lugano, approximately 10 kilometers from the Swiss-Italian border. The tranquility of his adopted home is a world away from the frenetic atmosphere of the Moto GP grid. Jorge hails from the Balearic island of Mallorca. His father, Chicho, was himself a keen motorcyclist, and it wasn't too long before Lorenzo Jr. began following the same path.
He started showing a passion for motorbikes when he was just 1 year old. Whenever he saw one, he wanted to jump on it, and he was always making these brum brum noises.
My father was a mechanic back then, and we didn't have much money. We were, I suppose, a lower middle-class family. He built my first motorbike in his spare time, using some wheels and bits of metal that were lying around, and an engine that he found somewhere. It was very small, so I was able to start riding it when I was 3. I also took part in my first race at 3 years old.
After starting out in motocross, Jorge switched to road racing, where his talent on 2 wheels continued to blossom. He made his debut in the 125 World Championship in 2002, aged just 15. 3 years later, he moved up to the 250s and went on to win 2 world titles in that class in 2006 and 2007. Throughout his formative years, Jorge worked on his riding skills with Chicho, who helped him develop the ultra-smooth riding style that's become his trademark. Unfortunately, father and son fell out back in 2006. Although they managed a partial reconciliation in 2009, things didn't return to normal until earlier this year. Now, they're back working together, just like old times.
He has a very important character trait, not just for sport, but for life in general. He's a perfectionist. He's never satisfied. He's always looking to improve and trying to find ways to better his performance. He's very focused on his work and his profession.
We used to take a stopwatch with us every time we trained, and a notebook to write down the times. He would prepare exercises to improve my riding skills in different areas, such as keeping the throttle steady while cornering, or waiting as long as possible before braking. He used to tell me that the fewer movements I made on the motorbike, the less tired I would get, and the corners would flow more easily. So I started riding like that when I was very young, and I've been trying to perfect it ever since.
Jorge's training partner is Ricky Cardus, who races in the Moto 2 class. They travel around the World Championship circuit together and have been friends for a number of years, time enough for Ricky to fully appreciate Lorenzo's appetite for success.
He won the world title in Malaysia last year, and when we returned home on the Monday, with jet lag and everything, we went out practicing on motocross bikes. That's the type of thing that sets a champion apart from all the other riders. He's never too tired to work. If we're watching a film, he'll be stretching at the same time, or reading, or doing something to help him become a better rider.
Moto GP bikes generate huge forces under acceleration, braking and cornering, so riding one requires optimal levels of fitness. Jorge freely admits that he hasn't always been a fan of working out at the gym, but it's an aspect of training that he's embraced in his never-ending quest for self-improvement.
You need to be strong because racing bikes are quite heavy and very powerful. So it's important to build up strength in the neck, shoulders and abdominal area. Flexibility is also important because you need a wide range of movements to be able to maneuver the bike around as fast as possible.
Lorenzo's fitness program is overseen by Antonio Caschini, who's worked with a number of Yamaha riders over the past 15 years.
He's tough and demanding, but he's also understanding. If I'm not feeling 100%, or if a certain movement is causing me pain, he understands that we can't train too hard that day. He's someone who really understands the person he's training.
Caschini's expertise has proved invaluable over the past few weeks, as it's been helping Jorge recover from an injury that threatened to quash his hopes of retaining the world title. Last month, Lorenzo broke his collarbone in a crash during practice for the Dutch TT in Assen. After undergoing surgery in Barcelona, he returned to the circuit to race just 36 hours later, finishing in an incredible 5th place. However, Jorge aggravated the injury last weekend after another crash at the German Grand Prix, forcing his withdrawal from the race. Jorge's teammate at Yamaha is Valentino Rossi. The Italian rider originally joined Yamaha in 2004 and went on to win 4 world titles for the team over the following 7 seasons. After 2 disappointing years with Ducati, Rossi re-signed for Yamaha this season and recently announced his return to form by winning the Dutch TT.
In terms of riding, the numbers speak for themselves. 9 world titles and over 100 victories. He's quite possibly the greatest rider of all time. So I'm very proud to have raced alongside him so many times and to have battled to win against him on the track. And it's great to be in the same team as a rider like that. I can still learn so many things from him.
This season there's also a new kid on the block. Marc Marquez has made a sensational start to his Moto GP career and currently leads the championship standings, ahead of his Honda teammate Dani Pedrosa. In April, the 20-year-old claimed victory at the Grand Prix of the Americas in Austin, Texas, becoming the youngest rider in history to win a race in motorcycling's premier class.
Marc is an exceptional rider, very ambitious and highly talented. When you have a rider like that, with all of the energy you have when you're 20 years old, plus a bike that's as good as the Honda and a great team behind you, it means you can be on the pace straight away. You're in a position to compete for race wins and podiums. He's definitely ready to fight for the World Championship. All he has to do is keep learning as fast as he can and avoid making mistakes, and get to the end of the season with as many points as possible.
In addition to racing and training, Lorenzo has also been devoting time to his living arrangements. He recently bought an apartment in Lugano, and when we visited, Jorge was overseeing the interior design with a little help from his friends and family.
Well, as you can see, it's not finished just yet. I think it should be ready in a couple of weeks or so. But what can I say? I feel so lucky to be able to live in a place like this. I'm really pleased with it.
Among those offering some helpful household hints was Héctor Martín, Jorge's head of press and public relations. A former journalist, Martín followed Lorenzo during his 250 title-winning seasons in 2006 and 2007, before being asked to work for him at the start of his Moto GP career in 2008. Héctor looks after Jorge's daily schedule, organising press conferences, interviews and sponsor events.
The level of interest a Moto GP World Champion generates is incredible. Every day there are requests from different sections of the media, and from Jorge's sponsors. In addition, we get requests from organisations and foundations and are asked to attend award ceremonies during this season. There are times when you have to say no 90 or 95% of the time, because the year-round interest in a world champion like Jorge is just so great.
Lorenzo's talent, determination and sheer enthusiasm for riding motorcycles have already taken him to the pinnacle of his sport. He intends to keep competing for at least another 5 years, time enough to establish himself as one of motorcycling's all-time greats. But statistics and records don't concern Jorge too much. He prefers to work hard, be happy, and let the results take care of themselves.
My ambition has to be to win the World Championship again. Once you've won it, you naturally want to win it again and again. But most of all, I want to keep having fun on the motorcycle and to continue enjoying the sport. Given what I've already achieved, I could retire right now if I wanted to. But at the moment, I still feel that passion to compete and still want to improve every day.